Hello YouTube, welcome to 2019. Happy New Year's to everybody. Angry Goat here. I just wanted to say thank you very much for tuning in and checking out the channel. My New Year's resolution of 2019 is to make more videos. I realize that I run across stuff all the time that I'm forever on YouTube for, and I was like, man, I wish there were more videos on this. So that's my goal, is to do more videos. I wanted to give everybody a heads up as to what's going on with my Ford Fusion. Nobody really outside of my close inner circle and my family kind of knows what honestly is going on with the Fusion, and I thought I would give you guys an update. Only because the Fusion is probably my most popular videos that are out there. So for those of you that may or may not know, my Fusion actually was in the shop for some major issues that it had in October. Now, to give you guys an idea of what's going on with my Fusion, I've had my Ford Fusion Sport for about a year, and currently I have about 18,000 miles on it, but prior to that I had about 16,000 when I started having some issues. But let's just jump straight into the issues with it. So as you guys now know, I swear that this car is cursed. What I mean by that is I have been in accidents in this car, I have had rim problems, I have had tire problems, and most of it is not too bad designing by Ford, it's just really bad luck. Like, I had a tire problem actually, where I had a file in a construction zone go through my contact patch of my tire, spin around and come out of the sidewall. And for those of you that know, 19s are not cheap. More importantly, nobody stocks 19s, which is so weird to me. But pro tip, if you're gonna get rims, get an even size, don't get an odd size, especially 19, because they're just not commonly carried, unfortunately. But anyways, back to the Fusion Sport. So in October, I noticed that the car was consuming a little bit of coolant. The way that I found out was I took it to an oil change place and I had a place change the oil, and they tell me, hey, your car's a little low on coolant. Not a lot, just a little, so it's something you want to watch. Maybe it wasn't full from the factory, you know, maybe there was some boil over, something, who knows, but basically your car's a little low on coolant. So okay, cool, I was gonna watch it. So every couple of days I'd pop the hood after the car was warmed up, and I checked the coolant, and I noticed that my coolant level was going down pretty dramatically. Now, for those of you that know, new cars don't use a whole lot of coolant. They might, but the reservoir that you measure it in, you only have like a section like this big between maximum and minimum. So, you know, you kind of have to take it on a grain of salt as far as it's a sliding scale of how much coolant you actually have in the car. So I called Ford, Folsom Lake Ford here in Northern California, and I said, hey, my Ford Fusion Sport is consuming coolant. I need to have this checked out. And they go, okay, no problem. Soonest we can get you in here is next week. Go ahead and drive the car until then. Now, if I owned a car dealer and someone told me that a car was consuming coolant, and they told it to me like that, not, hey, my fluids are a little low, but if someone literally called me and said, hey, my car is consuming coolant, I would probably at least get the car in there. I wouldn't want them to drive it. That'd be the last thing I'd want them to do, is to drive it. So I drive it for the next week, and everything's good in the car. It's not acting any funny, it's not overheating, and then all of a sudden my heater stops working in my car. And call Ford, and they go, drive it, your appointment's just in a couple of days, no big deal. So as I'm taking the car to Ford, the car starts to overheat. This is a Wednesday. I was supposed to drop it off on a Thursday, so I'm bringing it in a Wednesday night, and I'm driving to Ford, and all of a sudden the car overheats. I mean, it goes from normal range to hot in 30 seconds. I'm about 100 yards away from the dealer, so I just kind of limp it into the dealer, and when I get out, it's the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life from a car. It literally smelled like the car was on fire. Upon breakdown and teardown, they found that there was actually a crack in the head where the turbo bolts to the head. And what was happening was there was a water jacket there, and water was actually leaking out of the water jacket into the turbo and then out of the exhaust. So there was nothing wrong with the oil. There's nothing wrong with the motor. They bore scoped it. They couldn't find water inside the cylinders. They were just like, hey, this is a huge issue, and we obviously need to replace your heads. Okay, so they replaced both heads, both turbochargers, both head gaskets, and they replaced both catalytic converters, probably because the overheat caused a cylinder overtemp code, and raw fuel was going to the cats. Anytime you have raw fuel that goes into your catalytic converters, you will destroy them very quickly, and if you're in there, you might as well just replace them anyways. So, got it. So Ford replaced all of that. Now, my brother-in-law is a tech for Ford. Well, was a tech. He works for Tesla now, but he was a tech. And I got the car with his D plan. For those of you that don't know, if you're an employee or direct family member of an employee, you can get Ford D plan, which I will tell you is 16 to 20% off of the MSRP on a car, okay? So if a car is $37,000, 20% of $37,000 is about $4,400, okay? So that's no, $7,400. There you go. That's my math for you. Sorry, it's early. So I got D plan on the car. So I got a really good deal. I mean, in conjunction with D plan, I got a bunch of rebates too. So I got a great deal on the car. But he told me, Eddie, do not buy a Ford. And I'm not gonna say I'm like a Ford fanboy because I've owned a bunch of different cars, but I really like the Fusion. I need it. I have 2 kids. It's all-wheel drive, which is really cool. It's got 325 horsepower. It's twin turbo. I mean, it's nice. I call it the poor man's Audi, because that's literally what I think it is. Plus, I think the car looks really cool. I remember when the Fusions came out, I was like, man, those things are so cool. They look like an Aston Martin. Like, what kind of car is that? Look, there goes those Fords. And for the most part, I'm very happy with my car, other than all of my bad luck that I'm having with it. So back to the repair issue. So they replaced, like I said, the turbos, the head gaskets. They replaced a lot of stuff on the car. And I'm telling them, don't you think you should just long block it? Just give me a new motor. Now, for those of you that don't know, a long block traditionally consists of the block of the car, the cylinders, the heads, and then everything else that comes attached to it. I don't know, unfortunately, maybe someone can help me down in the comments, if Ford includes new turbos, because technically the turbos are part of the exhaust manifold. I don't know, but normally when I think a long block, I think the block, a complete block, cylinders, and a head. That's what I think with a long block. So I take in, okay, so they don't do that. Like I said, they just do all the pieces to it. So, okay. So I get the car back 19 days later, and the car's running great. I mean, I don't know if I was losing boost from the crack or what, but the car is running great. I mean, it's like it's new again. And that's what it should be. I mean, the car was warrantied, so it should be that good. So I drive it for about a month and a half, and no problems with it. I'm not noticing any type of like boost drop off. I'm not noticing any coolant. I'm keeping an eye on this stuff now, so I'm not keeping. I mean, there's no problems with it. The car is running fine. So on Christmas Day, my wife and I decide, hey, I got an idea. Let's go for a drive. Let's take the Fusion. I live in Northern California, so we are blessed with some pretty awesome mountain roads up here. One of them actually is Highway 88 up through Jackson, California. It's beautiful. I mean, it's 2-lane, windy, sweepy road through some little bitty towns, like old gold rush towns. It's beautiful. So we are about an hour and 20 minutes away from home, and we're going up this mountain road, and 30 seconds before the car has a major malfunction, I'm just telling my wife, man, I love this car. Like, I love the power, I love the boost, I love the all-wheel drive, it's comfortable, like, I love the car. 30 seconds, okay? All of a sudden, the road starts going from being uphill to kind of flat, and then it goes uphill again, so when it gets on the flat, I back off the throttle, and when I back off the throttle and get back on, the car shifts really hard. Boom! And it's loud, makes an audible boom. And the car goes into limp mode. I lose all power. I lose everything. the car basically resets to as if it was just in factory on, or ignition on, or whatever. Anyways, I lose power brakes, I lose power steering. Now I'm on a windy mountain road with nowhere to pull off, doing probably about 45 miles an hour, and all of a sudden I lose power. It's not good. Luckily, there's this little turnoff that I was able to kind of scoot my car over to the side on. So I go over there and I scoot the sides off, and yeah, I call Ford Roadside Service. Now, Ford Roadside Service actually probably deserves its own video, because I don't want to make this video 25 minutes long. But I'll just put it like this. Ford Roadside Service was really cool. And if you have a new Ford and you break down, completely use that, because just the whole process was really cool. Just make sure you have a charged smartphone or you're screwed, because they geotag you based upon your location on your phone. Okay, so I drop off my car. I have it towed in to Folsom Lake Ford again, and this time it is towed in on Christmas Day. So now they have it since December 26th. And I don't hear anything back from my service writer. Now, my service writer, she has bad communication, to say the least. She doesn't call me, let me know what's going on with my car. She just tells me what the end result is. She never tells me, hey, this is what's happening. She's just like, we're gonna long block your car. And that was only because I called her 8 days later for her to tell me I'm gonna long block your car, because I had to get some stuff out of my car. Okay, cool. So you're gonna long block it. Awesome. You should have done that shit last time. The problem now is that the car is not reliable to me. And this is where you guys come in. I live in California, and California has a pretty cool lemon law regarding lemons. And basically, there's these things called presumptions, where they presume your car is a lemon if. So the car is 2 years or newer. Check. It's 2017. Check. Okay, so that's one box. The second one is it's been in the shop for a service 4 or more times. Well, no, because now it's only in the shop 2 times. However, that is a sliding scale depending on how major it is, and it falls under qualifications. So for instance, if you have electrical issues, like let's say for instance, oh, my turn signal doesn't work. If you take it in twice, that's probably not going to be considered a lemon, because they can't diagnose what's going on with your turn signal. But for me, I'm having major engine failure. So, I mean, obviously that's pretty major. But like I said, it's only 2 times. So that box is not checked. You had to buy your car new, check. I did buy my car new. And then one of the other ones is, or your car has to be in the shop for 30 days. Well, let's count. My car was in the shop 19 days the first time, and it's been in since Christmas, and today is now the 4th of January. So 29 days, and my car needs a motor. So at 30 days, they basically call it a lemon, is what they do. And the thing about it is that I don't know how to approach this with the dealer. Because at first, all I wanted was an extended warranty. Give me the 770 premium care, where everything is covered, roadside assistance is covered, everything that broke is covered for 70,000 miles. That'll be by the time I get to the end of the loan, and whatever, I'll be able to trade the car, and who cares? And it'll be fixed by Ford. And they won't do that. Folsom Lake Ford, when I asked her, she said, oh, I can sell that to you. Bitch, you already have my money, okay? And I said, well, what's it cost? She said $2,500. Okay, all right. Well, since you won't give that to me, now take your time and replace my motor, because at 30 days, there's a very good chance that I'm gonna go get a lemon law attorney. I called a couple lemon law attorneys, and basically they said, yeah, you do have a good case. I just gotta wait till I get the car back and get all the request repair order forms and things like that. Anyways, this is where I kind of need you guys. What do you guys think I should do with the car? Do you think I should just keep it now that it's fixed? I mean, now that it has a new motor, I mean, there's absolutely no reason as to why it shouldn't run fine. Do you guys think that I should pursue the lemon law through an attorney? I don't necessarily want Ford to buy my car back. I'd still like a Fusion Sport. I just want a newer Fusion Sport, a different Fusion Sport, maybe in magnetic or blue or red or something not white. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe because there's going to be a lot more coming to this. And I'm going to try to do video updates the more and more I hear from Ford, or probably the less I hear from Ford. My next video is going to be about the service lady who told me I ruined her Christmas. So be sure you subscribe and wait for that video. I hope you guys have a great day and a happy new year. Thanks for watching.